Happy art class! Today we are going to be doing another lesson on Alma Thomas's concepts and her pointillism. So we are going to be working on a still life today. A still life is when you draw or paint objects that are in front of you, either that are actually in front of you or from a photograph you can also use during this lesson. So you can do your own still life from something that you have around the house that you want to draw and paint in this pointillism form that I'm going to teach you, or you can use a photograph, or you can just go ahead and do my still life that I'm choosing to do with you guys today. So I just wanted to put out a few more facts about Alma Thomas because she is such an amazing artist, and I wanted to give you a few more facts about her. So what I said before, she was born in Georgia. She was a very happy and encouraging person. She loved math. She became the first African-American woman to have a solo exhibit in the Whitmore Museum. She loved nature. She created paintings from watercolors, sculptures, and marionettes. Marionettes are puppets. She began concentrating on her own work after retiring from teaching, created her own unique style of painting. So I will show you a few more of her paintings right now. She developed this unique style it very much resembles pointillism. Pointillism, once again, is repeated dots or shapes over and over to create an overall large picture. For example, Alma Thomas had her beautiful circles that she did, and she also did a lot of landscape as well as some other forms of work. So today we are going to do our own rendition of this form and using a still life, like I said. So you can grab a plant that is in your house or fruit or a fruit bowl and put them in a beautiful way that you can see, and nobody will move for a certain amount of time, and you're just going to look at it and go ahead and draw it from there. You can use real plants. I have this fake plant here that you can go, like if I were to sit this down in front of me and just focus on the plant, and I would, if I wanted to draw the shelf it was on or a frame behind it, I could, or I could solely just focus on the plant itself, if that makes sense. So, but for today, I'm going to teach you a very simple still life, including a vase, and a couple of fruit. Now, this is from my curriculum, but if you want to challenge yourself, I do recommend doing a still life that is something in front of you that you have at your home, in your space. And I will be showing you an example of a photo of a still life here using fruit now. There it is. So if you have something like that around your house, feel free to get it. Feel free to also pause that image and draw it using that image that I just shared with you, whatever makes you feel the most comfortable. Okay, so for today, we are going to be doing our elements of art, color and shape, and we're going to be using some value when we come into our painting. So like I said, it's from a drawing to a painting. So we're going to draw with pencil. So you're going to need a pencil, an eraser nearby. If you have, I started recommending to bring maybe a ruler. If you have a ruler, you don't need one. I was using the edge of my my paint box the last time on my paper, but I did find a ruler, so I'm bringing my ruler. I have my palette for my paint. I have my mixing water and my clean water because I will be using watercolor paints. These are awesome because I don't have to dilute them if I don't want to, and I can dilute them if I want to, which means I can use them in their paste form, or I can mix them with water and then create that watercolor. So I really like these. If you have tempera, I do not have tempera, but if you have tempera at home, you can just go ahead and use pure tempera and mix a little bit of water to get that wash, because we will be diluting this paint in this lesson at some point. And or acrylic you can use, but be careful, it stains. So make sure that you always have a piece of paper, newspaper, a tablecloth underneath your projects. Use acrylic, you can also use that just like that, and you can also mix it with water to dilute it, because we won't be needing to do that. You have your paint brushes handy. I have 2 or 3. If you just have 1, that's fine. And let's get, so that's pretty much all. Oh, and last but not least, crayons, because we will be tracing it with crayons once again. Okay, so let's have fun. Let's get started. Okay, so I have my paper handy. You're also going to need, I'm using cardstock once again. I have my pencil and eraser, which I'm going to need first of all. And once again, I said I'm going to be using a still life from my lesson plan. So I'm going to pop up that still life picture now. So go ahead and pause that picture if you need that for reference too. At any point, you can just pause it and go back to it. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I am going to start with my main focus of my picture, which is going to be my vase, my vase. Okay, right here in the center. So I am going to start with the top of my vase. And I am going to go ahead and do a diagonal straight down, stop, and then inwards, stop. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and round that down, not all the way to the edge of my paper, but about a ½ inch above. There we go, just like so. Then I'm going to go ahead and begin to draw some of my fruit. So I'm going to do like an orange over here. And I'm going to do like another orange coming around, looking like it's in the back of my vase, and in the back, a little bit behind this orange. Now that line looks a little off to me, so I'm going to go ahead and fix that line right up. I'm going to connect this orange again, and then go ahead and connect it just like that. There we go. That looks more believable, right? That it's behind there. Then I'm going to go ahead and draw some grapes. And draw some grapes on coming from the back of my vase, like they're placed on the table. I'm going to go ahead then I'm doing some of them whole circles, like if they're on the front facing you, but some will be overlapping each other. Okay, I'm gonna start to finish them off. There we go. And then I'm gonna go ahead and draw another fruit coming right behind here. So we're pretending like the whole entire fruit is behind those, coming out in the front of the table just a little bit, like so. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this one like if it was a sliced grapefruit. And draw the center, and they just slice this right in half. And remember, the line's gonna go through the back. It's my sliced grapefruit. Then I'm gonna go ahead and let's draw an apple back here. Now this is in reference to my lesson. I did change it a little bit, so if you want to go ahead and add the extra fruit and details that I did, you're more than happy to, or you can just keep it the same. That is up to you. Okay, here's my apple. There we go. I have my apple in the back. I'm pretty happy with it right now. So I'm going to take a step back, and I'm going to go ahead and draw my horizon line now, which is going to be the edge of my table. So this is why I wanted you to have a ruler handy. You don't need to. So because my ruler is longer than my paper, I can actually just put it right down where I would want my tabletop to end. And I think I'm going to want it to end right about there. So I'm going to straighten this line out, and then I'm going to go ahead, get my pencil, go start from the vase, go right off the edge. See if it peeks through right there, just a little bit. Start my apple and go right to the edge. There we go, just like so. So then I have this as my still life, and I'm thinking I am happy with it. Now I don't want to complicate things too much because I want you guys to see how important it is. We're going to add some shape and value. We're going to add shape to it by adding some value to it and making some light and darker areas and giving it more dimension, more depth, making it look as though a form, right? A form being another element of art. We're going to use that with paint. We're going to create that with paint by our hue that we use. So I'm going to go ahead and do just like a little decoration strip on my vase, like it has a nice coated strip there on my vase. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and stop there. So now what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to think too a little bit about where your light source would be coming from. Do you want your light to be coming from the right or from the left? We're going to have to think that through. That's when we get to the paint. But before we do, let's go ahead and get our crayons, and we're going to start to trace our picture with our crayons. So you're going to go ahead and choose the colors of your choice. I'm going to go ahead and start to trace. I'm going to use this nice red violet for my grapes. And take your time. Have fun with this. If you want to add different fruit, if you want to do a plant or flowers, go ahead. And this picture would also be a really beautiful gift to give to somebody. Usually everybody loves fruit, right? So it's a really fun gift to give to people. Let's see. My grapefruit, I'm going to do it a little bit lighter colors here. Now it's okay if you see your pencil lines, but if you don't want to see your pencil lines, you might want to like erase them a little bit first and then go in and trace it with your crayon. Totally up to you. And color, trace my apple red. And we come in, I'm gonna my oranges. Oh, that's a bright orange. I'm gonna go with a not so neon orange now. We'll have 2 shades of orange. There we go. My tabletop, I'm gonna have my tabletop be brown. There'll be wood. Oh, a little shaky there. And there's my wood table, my vase. I'm gonna have my be like a really beautiful. Let's do this blue. There we go. Oops. I broke my crayon. What's cool is when crayons break and oil pastels break, they always work still. Now my strip, I'm going to do it a different color. I'm going to do it green. And it's actually curving this way. I actually want it curving down. I feel like it gives it like this different illusion. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this line and go downwards instead. Just like I did this one downwards, I'm going to go downwards too. There we go. That looks a lot better. Still a little bit too wide to me. So I'm going to go ahead and erase that. Do it one more time. Maybe a little bit slower and softer. There we go. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and trace this is the details on the base. It's going to be a two-tone base. It'll be blue and then green in the center. So there we go. I've traced all my still life with my crayons, so we can move our crayons aside, clear up some room on our workspace, and then we're going to go ahead and dilute our watercolors because I have the paste watercolors. So we're going to grab our palettes. So once again, using our beautiful color wheel that we all created together, we're going to use it once again, and we're going to go ahead and outline of our still life, we're going to go ahead and color it in the complementary color. So I need to take a look. What colors have I used, right? So I've used orange, so I need blue. So let's get blue on here. Oh, and my blue is running out. There we go. My blue. It's a little too much, but that's okay, because I'm going to dilute it, right? And then I used green inside my vase. So my green, I only need a little bit. Oh, sorry. I'm going to need red, because that's the complementary color to green. So I'm going to get my red. I have 2 packets of paint here. Okay, and just a little bit of red. Just a teeny bit. Okay, cool. Got my red. And now I used orange. Complementary color to orange is blue. I already have blue. So that's, oh, that's right. Because our complementary color to blue is orange. So we need orange. And I already have a little bit here. So I'll just pour just a little bit more. It did dry out just a little bit. And then what other colors am I going to be needing? Okay, I have my red, I have my blue, I have my orange. I need green for the apple. So I'm going to get my green out. Now I'm not mixing water with them just quite yet. Oh, this one hasn't been open. These are cool. They have a little poke, and we just poke it through, and then it releases the paint. So I just need a little bit. Okay, I have my green, and then I'm going to need, I will get a light blue for the center of my grapefruit, and then the complementary color to yellow is purple. So I can just dilute my blue with more water for the center of that one, but I will be needing purple for my yellow. So let's get some purple on here. My purple. There we go. I'm not putting too much because I'm going to mix water. And I'm trying to make my paints last as long as they possibly can, right? And not waste materials. And then brown. So the brown table, I will decide later what color, but I definitely think I want to keep it a neutral color. And then the top part, I'm probably gonna make it, I just might do the complementary color of blue, which is orange. So I might actually pour a little bit more orange there because I will be painting the top background orange. Just so it makes the vase pop, right? Because the two complementary colors are next to each other. They will give this really cool pop. Okay, so now that I have all my colors ready, I am going to go ahead and pour some water, clean water into each of them. Just a little bit. You don't need too much. Ooh, like that one. Ooh, that was my orange. And then I have my green, a little bit in red, and my purple. Or is that my blue? That's my blue. Oh, I poured too much. Uh-oh. Made a little bit of a mess there. But that's why I have my tablecloth. So we're all good. Alright. Okay, here comes the ice cream man. So let's go ahead and mix our paints with the ends of our brush. And remember, after we mix each color, you're going to want to rinse it in your mixing cup. And if you have a paper towel nearby or a rag, you can also wipe it. If you're doing this on top of your painting like me, be very careful. But I hope you're not. I'm just doing it. I should actually freeze. And let's move my painting. Just for a bit. Okay. That way I'm not going to spill on it again. Oops, I accidentally touched my green. Then I'm going to go in and mix my green. Oh, my green didn't have too much water. So I'm actually going to add just a teeny bit of water. I think I took some out. There we go. And the green is really dark. Then I'm going to go ahead and mix my brush again. Wash it. Mix my red. I'll go ahead and wash it again. Mix my blue. So all my complementary colors here and ready. And I have my clean water nearby in case I want to make my paintings lighter. Alright, so let me go ahead and move my palette aside. I'm going to go ahead and bring out my still life once again. And let's go ahead and start to paint the center of our fruits with our complementary colors. Okay, so let's start with the vase because it's the focal point of our picture, right? Focal point meaning it's the main object in our picture. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my orange. I might not paint my background orange anymore. I totally forgot that we're coloring complementary. For some reason I thought we were coloring blue. So I'll figure that out. Or I could do like a lighter orange. This is a very red orange. It's the only orange paint I got right now. And please, if you don't have your complementary colors, don't worry. Just go ahead and paint them in with any color you have. Don't worry about following the lesson perfectly if you do not have the materials. I completely understand, and as long as you're creating some art, you're doing great. And having fun, having a good time, relaxing, creating, maybe even making a gift for someone, right? Awesome. And if you don't have paints, what you can be doing is coloring it in with color pencils if you have them, or crayon very lightly. And you can do the pointillism on top with marker, using the marker tips. I've done that before. It looks super cool. Really beautiful in the end. Time consuming, of course. Pointillism takes a while to accomplish, right? We need lots of patience. Okay, so now my center of my strip is green, so I'm going to paint it the complementary color, which is red. There we go. It's very light red. I like it. Okay, I'm going to wash my brush, and I'm going to go to my oranges now. And my oranges are going to be blue. I'm going to make this one a little bit darker. And then I'm going to I am going to dilute my blue on this orange and make it a little bit of a lighter blue just because my orange was lighter. By doing that, I'm just dipping my brush in my mixing water and spreading around my paint. My blue paint, I can grab some from here again. There we go. We have two different shades of my blue. Now we're gonna go in to the grapes. I'm gonna wash my brush. And the complementary color to purple is yellow. I did not get yellow. Forgot that one. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix some yellow right now in my little water puddle that I already created, so I'm not wasting so much water. All right. Awesome. So I have my yellow. I'm going to go ahead and color in each shape to my grapes. This is like a mustardy yellow. I do love this yellow though. It is my favorite yellow. If you have any puddles, you notice you got too much water in one area, go ahead and push that water, use it as paint, and push it throughout your fruit or your whatever you happen to be painting. That way it dries quicker, because we're going to need it to dry to continue to do our pointillism on top. Okay, have our yellow down. So let's work on our apple. And our complementary color to red is green. So let's get my green out. Oh, that's a very dark green, but a very beautiful green. Oh, I also love this forest green color too. Beautiful color. Okay, so my little stem here, opposite color of green, complementary color to green is red, right? So I'm going to get just a teensy bit of red. I'm going to go ahead and put it in my stem there. Oops. That's all right. Wash my brush. And now I'm going to go ahead and do like a really, really light blue, similar to this blue, for the middle of my grapefruit. So I'm just going to, that's a dark blue, but I'm going to come in with some more water and I'm going to spread that around as much as I can. Because the beige, I just rounded it off to orange. And I don't want to color the whole thing purple, so I add some blue in there. Spreading it around so it can dry faster. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and color the outside of our grapefruit purple, because the complementary color to yellow is purple. Lakers colors. Alright. There we go. And now we're going to go ahead and we have to focus on our background. So my table, I do want it to, like I said, be a neutral color. So I'm going to try to mix the yellow and the orange that I already have here. So I'm going to try to do that now. Let me just scoot my chair. Okay. So I'm mixing my orange with my yellow. And I'm going to go ahead, it's like an umber now. Bit of an umber color. So I'm going to go ahead and paint my table this beautiful umber color. There we go. There we go. It's really light color, right? But that'll be fun once we pick up all the fun paint that we're gonna put right on top. And then I'm gonna go ahead and choose what I want to be for either the wallpaper or if this table is outside for the sky. So really wanted to paint orange, but our vase is orange and I completely forgot. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix some blue with my purple, which is a little tricky because they're on opposite ends, but I'm just gonna scoop some of my purple in here and grab some of my red from here and mix that up. Oops. And then maybe add some water to it to dilute it a little more. Oh, I feel like I need more purple in this. There we go. Now I'm going to carefully trace my figures first to make sure I don't get anything on them. And then I'm going to go ahead and just color that in. I'm going to grab some water to dilute it some more. Okay, there we go. And get all the edges, all the white. I'm gonna get, there we go. And get some more of that paint and color this side. There we go. Oh, one trick that I didn't follow is to always paint in the same direction. If you choose to, it'll keep it looking consistent and balanced. I kind of just painted in two directions there for a second. There we go. All right. Now, while the background's drying, I'm going to go ahead and start to work on my pointillism in my vase because my vase is almost completely dry. So now, without diluting these paints, we're going to go ahead and go in and do pointillism all along our piece here. Now, I have the watercolors that I was using, and I can use these and just don't dilute them, but I'm going to go see if I have some acrylic I can use. So stay tuned. Okay, so I went and I did find some of my acrylics. So I got my palette ready with all my colors, and I also grabbed some brown just in case I want to tint my colors, and I got some black and some white. So I can add black to any of these colors to make them darker, or I can also add white to make any of these colors lighter. Now that is important because we are going to be creating our still life to give it form and detailed depth and contrast. Okay, so if you have black and white, those are important. I use acrylic paints. I don't have too much temper right now. I use some of folk art and some apple barrel. These are like 70 cents, 80 cents, 90 cents. I just already have them. I'm staying safe and staying home, right? So whatever you have is perfect. And let's go ahead and get started. So remember, if you're doing color pencils, you have already colored it lightly with color pencil and crayon. And now you're going to grab your markers and do pointillism on top. If you don't have markers either, then you can go ahead and use crayon and draw little tiny circles on top using your complementary color, or at least a darker color on top so you can see it, okay? All right, so I'm gonna again look at my color wheel, right? What is the complementary color to orange? We're going back to our base. It's blue. So using my blue, I am going to draw, either you can do lines like we did when we did our Alma Thomas piece, right? Because we are still inspired by Alma Thomas. So you can do these lines with your brush, which I use this type brush to get those. Or these bigger shapes that are right here, I used, where is it? My flat brush, and I created those lines. Or you can use the back of your paintbrush to create dots. Now, the smaller that your shape is, the longer it will take you to finish it, right? So, but before I get started on my shapes and creating depth and contrast, right, with our colors, we're going to want to figure out, where do I want our light source to be? Do we want our light source to be coming above, below, to the right, from the right, or to the left? Why is that important? Because we need to know which side of our vase and our fruits are we going to put the lighter colors on, and which side are we going to put the darkest colors on, right? So I'm going to choose my light source coming from the left. So I'm going to say my light source is coming from the left. So everything on my left is going to be lighter than my right, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. I want to show you what the end, if you use the end of your paintbrush, what it's going to look like. So I'm just going to start to go in with blue, and then it creates dots. Now the more paint I have, the bigger my dots get, and then as my paint wears off, let's go a little closer here. I'll do it right here. So I have my end of my paintbrush. I'm dipping my paint in, and I have a lot of paint right now. See, and then it wears off, and then I just go ahead and dip it back in my paint to get more paint.
Mom, look at another fruit snack.
So right here, it looks really cool. Our dotted with our dots with the edge of our paintbrush. You can use the tip of your finger to go ahead and go in there too. You can use your brush strokes, maybe another object, a Q-tip or a toothpick. And we're going to be going all in there, right? The closer together, the better. You can overlap if you want. Just don't have them too far apart. Now I'm going to do my vase with my tip of my brush, but the rest of it I'm probably going to play around with it and use some different shapes. Now this takes a lot of patience. So just keep going and adding that all up to your vase. You can go ahead and press play and then finish it off. I'm going to press pause now and finish the vase and come back. I'm just going to use my one tone of blue throughout my whole piece. And then I'm going to come back and show you how I want to add depth and contrast to it. Okay. Okay, so now that I have my entire vase covered in my dots, I used just my regular blue here in order to go ahead and give it some depth and contrast, right? Make it look as in a form. I'm going to go ahead and add some white and black. Now, there's two ways you could do this. You could go straight for the white and go ahead and do it right on top and get the black, go right on top and leave some in the center, regular blue. Or you can tint it by getting some blue and some black on the edge, right? And then this is my darker side, so I'm going to go in a little bit harder because I'm using the back of the brush. So I noticed that I can probably get about 4 dots in there before I have to go back. Now my next shape, I'm definitely going to try brush strokes. I do like using the back of my brush. Fingertips would be fun too. Put that down. I'm creating my shadows, right? Without trying to mess up too much, right? All of my paint, because I will be needing it for my other pieces too. Lots of fun here. There we go. See, it's looking already like almost a form. Oops, sorry about that. Almost a form already. And then on the other side, I'm going to go ahead and do the same with white. I'm going to wash the tip of my brush in my mixing water. I had a paper towel. Wipe it dry. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and work on my left side, which is going to be my light source side, right? The light's coming through this way. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and get my white and blue. So careful, always get the edges, okay? Maybe you mix a little bit here. Get my lighter cutter here. You don't want it to be pure white. Unless you do, that's fine. I don't mind seeing my white. I just also want to see that lighter blue. That's why if you see I'm carefully mixing it. I don't mind using the back of the brush too much. I just noticed that I have to go back a few times to get some more paint. Okay. There we go. Add some depth shade, right? And my light source, if you want your light source to come a little further out, then you'll do some lighter colors. Going midway too as well. Looking good. And you do have to be pretty still when you put these dots. To spread that pile over a little bit. And there we have our vase. Now if you want to add more and put more color to there, you can. Now I'm going to focus on the strip. Now I kind of want to try my brush strokes, but I don't know how that would be since I've already done dots, but let's experiment, right? Why not? So I'm going to go ahead and do brush strokes in my strip instead. Now the texture is going to be different, right? It's going to give it more of a smoother finish. This looks like a little bit more rough. That's okay, I want to experiment. So our complementary color to red is green. So I'm going to get my green. I'm going to go ahead and do my brush strokes. Remember, our paint is not diluted, so I did not dilute my acrylic paint. It's just how it is, but I am doing it over watercolor because my watercolor dilutes so nicely because it's meant to, right? Because watercolor. Now you can add more or less brush strokes if you like. It's up to you. I really wanted to see what it would look like, two different shapes within the same object. Super curious. Okay. And then I'm going to go in, I'm going to get my darker color. I know a little bit of orange got in there by accident. Let me just add some more here towards the edge. Not enough towards the edge. There we go. Now I'm going to get my black. And I'm going to use this edge to have my dark. And I'm going to add my darker strokes in here. Okay. Then I can maybe get some more green and less black and go in with just a tiny bit of a darker tone towards the middle. Didn't do that with the blue, but I can go back, always go back and add that. Just a little darker. Okay. So it's just not from, you don't want from light to dark, but no in between, right? It gives it more value that way, more contrast. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and wash my brush in my mixing water. Dry off my brush if you have a paper towel or just an old t-shirt or something you can always use for your art. I'm going to grab my green and then mix it with a little bit of white. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my light strokes. Oops, right here. Just like so. And then maybe I'll add just some pure white to the edge. The very edge so you can see a little bit more value, right? Then add some more green to it. There, and have it blend out nicely. I like that. Okay. I definitely like using the brush strokes more than the end of my paintbrush, but it is up to you. Like I said, you can use a Q-tip, you can use a tip of your finger. You guys have little fingers. I feel like mine would be done in a second, but maybe we can try it out. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to my oranges. Now my contrasting color for blue is orange. So I'm gonna come in with orange and I'm gonna go ahead and do my, oh, I didn't wash my brush. Oh no, I had to wash my brush in my mixing water. Don't forget to wash your brushes. All right, there we go. And dry your brush off. There we go. That's why my orange was coming out a little darker. Okay, then you're gonna go ahead and color all over. I'm only using the tip of my brush this time, and it's giving these nice little triangle shapes almost. It's really nice. Okay, now for the value. I'm going to go ahead and get some black and go to the edge of my orange. And I really like when it starts to blend with the orange, then it's not like that pure black. Can you see that happening? And you just overlay. Now the very edge would be the very darkest part, so maybe I'll go in there with some pure black and just go in there. There we go. And now I'm going to wash my brush so I can then do my white with my orange. So then I have my orange. Then I'm going to grab a little bit of, I should have grabbed it on the edge, that's okay. Mix it right here. There we go. Then I'm going to get some pure white again and have it be right at the edge. Okay, this is to give my orange that form, right? All right, I kind of lined up that little edge because I didn't wash my brush before I got my black. So I kind of like it. Maybe it's like a little bit of a shine right there where the light picks it up. So now I washed my brush, and I actually had 2 shades of orange. I know they're slightly off, but because I used 2 shades of blue here, I wanted to use 2 different shades of orange. So I'm going to go ahead and get this orange. I'm going to go in here, all around. This is a very small shape. Uh-oh, I have too much water. Too much water on my brush. Make sure you dry your brush, or your paint starts to spread, and we don't want that to spread when we're doing our pointillism on top. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and add some. You wouldn't see too much of the darker value only because like most of the orange is hidden with this one. So I'm just going to go in with the lighter color and with my original orange that I used on it. And I'm just going to go ahead and add that light to it. Now because I wet it a little bit too much with water, that's why it's not really doing it quite how I want to. So I might have to just stop on that one and go back later. Actually, that would be shadow, right? Because that would be hidden from that one. So we can actually do some darkness with that right here. Right here. Here you go. There you go. There we go. That makes more sense, right? Because this orange would be adding shadow to the back of that one. Okay, let's head over to our apple. So our contrasting color for our apple is green. Our apple is green, so our contrasting color is red. Sorry. Here we go. My table's getting a little crowded. Make sure you always have a nice clean space. Definitely helps you feel nicer and more relaxed. All right. Okay. There I have my red, and then so because my vase is in the back, this would be my lighter area a little bit here, and this would be darker because my vase is on top, and there might be a little bit lighter red on that side. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. My lighter area right here, and oh, that's really light. I was not looking for that much lightness. That's okay, I can overlap it with my regular red. See, it seems like it has a little too much water there. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and wash my brush because I had way too much white on there. Dry it off. Get my regular red again and go right on top. That's a little bit better. Okay. So then I'm going to go ahead and get my black. A little bit of black. And then just I'm going to do it right here. Just mix it with my red. Ooh. Okay. And then we go right here. My darker area. All right. Now, our grapes. Our little grapes. So pretty much each little circle, you're going to go ahead and do this on, believe it or not. So wash your brush really, really well, especially if you're using the same brush. I always stick to the same brush. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's just the way I do art. I always stick to my same brush. A habit, I guess. Even if I have 100 brushes, I always have that one brush I'm working on with. Okay, so I have my purple here. It's like a lavender. So I'm going to just go all over with this one in each of my shapes of my grapes. And I'm using purple because it's the contrasting color to yellow. It's a little bit harder to see my brush strokes really nicely with these small shapes. Let's see if I had a smaller brush. I do. Let me check this brush out. I have this thinner brush. Oops. Went in with too big of brush strokes there. This one works nice for the grapes. I can create a little bit smaller shapes, as you can see, just a little bit. And you can always do the dots. Okay, so my light source is still coming from the left. So I would think that these would still be darker because the vase is a little bit close to them, as you can see. So the vase would probably be hiding them. So I'm getting my black tint. And I'm going to be coming over here because these guys are right next to it. So they wouldn't get too much light in there. Okay, and then I would feel like the center of my grapes would pick up because they're round. Grapes are really round. I'm gonna wash my brush, dry my brush. Then I'm gonna get some of my white and purple. Oh, lavender. That's all I had was lavender. Okay, that's not too light enough for me, so I'm gonna have to go back get some more white. There you go. And I'm just gonna shine up the center of some of my grapes because I feel like the center would pick up. There we go. And then maybe add some darker on the opposite side. So I'm going to go back and get that same color I was using earlier for the edge over here to make sure to give it that contrast. There we go. Okay, so there are my grapes. And then I'm going to move on over to my grapefruit. So the contrasting color for my grapefruit, and I'm also going to switch my brush again. Oops, there goes that brush. I'm going to pick that up soon. I want to wash my brush I was using before, since my grapefruit is a little bigger of a shape, and I'm going to go ahead and use my contrasting color, orange. Now, there is a purple edge, so I don't have yellow, so I may just use orange. Okay, so I'm going to choose this lighter orange. And I'm going to go ahead and do my brush strokes all around. You could do rows, you can do it miscellaneously, wherever you like. Randomly. I'm going from rows to random back and forth. I like my brush strokes very visible, to each their own, right? So if you don't, you can go ahead and try to blend it out more. It's up to you. Okay, so my edge, I'm actually going to mix these white and this orange. And I'm going to go in and just do my edge all this color. So it can give it that it has some contrast to it, since I don't have yellow. Alright, and then I'm going to go and get the same color I mixed, right, with the white and the orange, and go in where my light would be. Oof. Well, I was going to make each little shape glisten because grapefruits are juicy, so they would be a little bit more shinier. But I'm going to go over that with some orange too, because that is a lot of white. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to wash my brush in my mixing water. And then, oops. I'll get this one. Why not? And just go right over it. There you go. Nicely put. That balanced it out a lot for me. Okay, cool. Okay, so then I'm going to go in with a little bit of a darker color here. make some dark right here. Just on the edges where the grapes are and this edge over here. Because the grapes would be casting a shadow a little bit onto my grapefruit, I'm sorry. A little bit more of a shadow cast than I would have liked, but that's okay. And then I'm going to come onto the bottom here. Cast a little bit of shadows here. Bottom of my piece. Just a little bit, right? Now, and then you can go ahead and do your marvelous pointillism throughout your whole entire piece. Top and bottom, cast shadows, light and dark, right? Our light source is coming from our left and from our right. This is the piece. I am happy with it. Let's see if we can get it close up. Very nice. Very awesome. Okay, so if you have time, go ahead and add your pointillism to the bottom and to the top. But I hope you had fun today. This was a lot of fun. Lots of patience on this piece. Well, with Alma Thomas in general. Pointillism, we definitely need to take our time with. But for today's affirmation is, I am brave. Our positive affirmation of the day is, I am brave. So whenever you're feeling scared or you're feeling worried or a little anxious, remember that you are brave. And repeat that to yourself. I am brave. You are brave to try something new. You are brave to do something that might scare you a little bit. And just remember, just because you're scared of something doesn't mean that you're not brave. You can be scared and brave all at the same time. So, I am brave. You guys have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed this still life based on pointillism for Alma Thomas, and I will see you soon. Have a great one. Bye.